Welcome back to Mangastorian. My name is Benny, and I've been doing a weekly One Piece book club. What is a One Piece book club? Well, One Piece is a franchise that I've never really gotten into. I always found it to be a little cartoony. That's already out the window, trust me. And I was finally convinced to go see the movie One Piece read by a friend. That convinced me to check out the series. We launched Mangastorian. I thought we would do a weekly, I give you my opinions on the chapters I'm reading. And yeah, that's the series right there. As we stand right now, Zoro's my favorite. Fight me for it if you don't think I'm right. Anyway. Some of the notes I want to go over here, housekeeping for you guys who are following this on a weekly basis. There's a comment down below about how I never read the comments. I want to clarify. I don't read the comments. Like, there's a lot on these videos. I don't go through them all. I don't. But I do check, like, at a quick glance kind of a situation, a lot of the stuff. I am trying to avoid spoilers so that you guys get actual reactions out of me, but at the same time, I've given up worrying about spoilers on a personal level a very long time ago. When I started YouTube, I started by doing gaming lore. And when I started doing gaming lore, the channel got big because I covered Metal Gear Solid and organized the plot of Metal Gear Solid. Well, when Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain was coming out, 3 days before the game launched, someone came and spoiled the entire big reveal at the end of the game to me. Ever since that day, on a personal level, I just don't care about spoilers. But I am trying my best to not get them because I feel like my reactions to be more legitimate if I don't know what's going on. So I just wanted to clarify a couple of things because I do check the comments and I see you guys arguing. Some people will ask me a question and I'll respond, and then someone else will respond to that and be like, well, he doesn't check the comments. It's, I'd say 75% Kevin looking at them and it's 25% me glancing at them. Also, I appreciate all of you guys trying to help me say Usopp repeatedly, over and over and over, and on the stories and on Comicstorian. I'm gonna say Usopp, and that's that, okay? Like, we're just gonna call it a day. I'm calling it on that. I've never had people chase me on my other channels to correct my pronunciation of Usopp. I'm saying Usopp. I'm reading the manga. I don't watch the shows on the regular basis. The only thing I've seen now has been One Piece Red, where I don't even know if he gets mentioned in that one, because I don't remember that character at all. I just remember the nose being like, what is up with that nose? Which I found hilarious because of the sequence in this sequence of chapters in which they drag him by the nose. So I guess it's just an attachment you can pull him by. Anyway, so there you go. I wanted to cover a couple of things in our book reading club. Today we're going to be covering chapters 155 to 177-ish. I basically ended it what apparently is right before the war. Okay, so that's where I got to. We're breaking up this one because I just had a busy week. Honestly, I've been stuck on Destiny and I couldn't get to reading a lot more of this, so sue me. I like Destiny. Anyway, starting off our storyline, I've got my notes right here. The first 5 stories are interesting because I don't know who this man is. So, they're sailing across the ocean when we last left off. Where did we leave off? So we're sailing off of the island where Tony Chopper has now officially joined the crew. And as we're going through the water, we get hijacked by a man who is, I guess, lost out at the sea. Turns out he's Mr. 2. I was going to say 3. 3 is the one with the candle. Mr. 2. I wonder if they thought this would be confusing. Let's name them Misters 1 through 5. I'm sure no one will ever confuse that. But anyway, Mr. 2. They pull him on the boat. He shows off his ability to take people's faces and be them. The whole crew, he doesn't know who the crew is, and the crew is shocked by what he can do, and that resolves with him just leaving. It's just, we get introduced to Mr. 2. We get to learn what his power is. Cool. All right. And we move on, and that was that. And I was like, what a weird thing to lump into this whole Alabasta arc, but whatever. Okay. So we meet Mr. 2. We move on. We go to Nanohana. I believe that's how you say it. It's never going to come back to bite me. Anyway, Nanohana, we go over there, and we discover that guy from before, Ace, is having a meal and arguing with Smoker. While this is going on, Luffy arrives. He's a Luffy. Anyway, Luffy arrives and runs over because he's super hungry. Standard Luffy fashion, ignores everything. He gets right in the middle of a battle between Ace and Smoker, which involves Smoker realizing that Luffy's here. Smoker is the captain of the Navy that has been chasing Luffy throughout all of Grand Blue at this point. And he begins to chase after Luffy, and Ace gets involved. Now, Ace, maybe he didn't wear the same outfit earlier. He's got a straw hat, and he looks very much like Luffy. And I'm very confused who he is at this point. And I've already read past this, so I'm just trying to tell you how I felt while reading this, because I'm like, what is the deal with Luffy, okay? So Ace saves Luffy, and then has like a surfboard boat. Coolest boat ever. Surfboard boat where he shows up and he's got flame powers and he's awesome and incredible. And then we find out he's Luffy's brother. And my exact reaction was, and I typed it over to, I believe, Kevin at the time, what the hell? Luffy has family? And I tweeted that. And most of you on Twitter were like, well, duh, he had to come from somewhere. And I'm like, Luffy has family. So this got me thinking, okay, hold on. So he's Monkey D. Luffy, right? And we established last chapters that Gold Roger is Gold D. Roger. So is Ace like Ace D. Ace? I don't know what his other name could be. Is Gold Roger related to Luffy? Don't actually answer that, but that's my current theory, okay? Because if Luffy has family and Gold D. Roger is D and Monkey, are the middle names in the middle? Is it not the end of their name? Oh, okay. Anyway, my brain started going in circles because I'm like, okay, so if Gold Roger is his dad and Ace is his brother, who the hell's the mom? How does that even work? Is it the woman who got really, really fat and then got really beautiful because of the fruit she ate? I don't even know anymore. But anyway, my brain started going in 101 circles about what Luffy's family is actually like. Because all I've seen is Luffy was on the island where he met Shanks. And then when I watched One Piece Red with Uda, it showed his history, and Luffy had no family. It was just Luffy, Uda, and Shanks. So whatever. Like, yeah, don't answer that because I want to find out if I'm right or wrong. I don't think I'm right. In all honesty, I don't think I'm right, but would be crazy. Anyway, Ace introduces himself, says he's got to go track down Blackbeard. Blackbeard is apparently worked for Ace. And I thought Blackbeard was a big badass, but apparently he ran off and like Ace is chasing him down. So Ace won't join the crew and he gets back on his cool surfboard and he's just like, and that was Ace. And I'm like, we just spent like 2 chapters introducing Luffy's family. Okay, I really want to know more about this now. So then we move over to actually getting to Alabasta, and we're going to be dealing with the actual situation of Vivi's kingdom. So this part felt a little slow to me, which didn't, and it might have been because I was also trying to play Destiny at the same time, so I might have just been kind of like, slow. What's going on in Destiny? You know what I mean? I'll admit, I might have been distracted. But I found this portion to be a little slow. We arrive at the town. They all get on different outfits. We find out a little bit about Vivi's history, which was kind of cool. We go on a weird desert adventure where they're discovering water. They make friends with a camel. We discover that Tony Chopper can talk to the camel. I thought that was a really cool development to be like, okay, Tony has Chopper has got like this cool ability where he can talk to animals. And again, my brain started racing. Ooh. The ramifications of this are going to be really cool. Like, we can talk to everything now. We can communicate with all the animals. Can he talk to the sea monster? Like, if Chopper was there when they were at the giant island, could they have spoken to the island-eating creature? What about when we get back to, what's the name of the whale? The whale. You know the whale I'm talking about. He's got the One Piece thing on his face. Can they talk to him now? Can they literally tell him, just come with us, bro? You're on the crew? So I liked that element. We go through it. I think they put on different outfits. They convinced Luffy he actually has to wear clothing, which I also found, like, even though it was like only like 2 panels, I think, Luffy was like, why? Like, why do you have to wear clothing, Luffy? Okay, yep, that's cool. And so we get all the way to the town of, let me see if I can find the name of it. Yuba. It's Uba or Yuba. Either way, they get to the town of Yuba. And that's where we discover Vivi's history. And Vivi's history is that she's a awesome princess. Like, apparently, she was friends with, like, the regular civilians. She would wander away from the palace. She would hang out with a bunch of other kids. Koza is the name of the kid that she hung out with a whole bunch. And Uba is Koza's father, who has been trying to dig up water. And, like, there's a whole thing where this oasis didn't work out, and he was sent over here by the king. We discovered that the king has been hoarding this dance powder or something like that causes rains, which has been centralizing it in the main town area. And like, the rebels are very mad at him for doing that, but they trust that he knows what he's doing. And at the same time, it's drying up the lands because there used to be oases and water and all kinds of things, and the king is getting the blame for it. And I'm actually a little confused. And I think I know why I was confused, because we get to that answer a little bit later in the story. We discover that the king is actually Mr. 2, the guy who can change faces. And he's actually, I did it intentionally, and now I'm apologizing, and it didn't go as I planned. And so I'm wondering, like, the whole thing, it turns out, is a plan by Crocodile. Who's the big villain we're after right now? Anyway, back to Uba. I'll come back to that. Back to Uba. Luffy sits down and says he's done. He's like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going across the desert. I want nothing to do with this. And Vivi starts to argue with him. And it comes down to Luffy wants her to ask for help. That's all it is. Vivi is insisting on doing this alone, and I thought they were helping because she had kind of asked, but obviously because of this moment, she never officially asked. I do know early on they said that they would go to Alabasta and like help save the area and fight the rebels and fix all of this, but she never asked them apparently. And so I'm reading through this book, and he just sits down and is like, I'm done. And that was the cliffhanger of that particular chapter. And I'm like, what the hell? What is Luffy doing now? And I assumed it was going to be some stupid Luffy not fully getting what's going on and what's happening with all of that stuff. But no, it was a really touching moment where he just wanted Vivi to ask. And he's like, I can get rid of Crocodile. You need to ask me. And so she asks for help finally, asks for help to achieve her goals. And so they move forward to go fight Crocodile by going to his casino that he's currently running. Now, Crocodile is one of the 7 warlords of the sea, and he's got a devil fruit, and he's like super imposing and super powerful, and everyone's scared of him, except Luffy. Luffy wants to go fight him. So while this is going on, the rebels, which are now led by Koza, which is Vivi's friend from when she was a kid, are going to be attacking the royal capital. And this is where I'm still kind of confused. What's actually the reasoning behind all of this? I know we're worried about, because up until this point, I thought the whole point of what was going on is that the Baroque army or whatever, the criminals were going to be attacking. But the rebellion against the king for the water situation is kind of what's going on instead. And as we find out going forward, the Baroque stuff is actually going on behind the scenes. And what we find out from Crocodile is that he's actually been manipulating everything so that the rebels will fight the capital so that he can then take over everything, from what I gather. It is funny because I don't feel like I'm the only one that's being confused by this, because Oda, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, the writer, is literally putting in panels where he explains what's happening. So he's like, rebels attacking here. Crocodile attacking rebels, conflicting over here. Like, there's like literally a map drawn out so you can keep track of this civil war / criminal situation. So I don't feel bad that I was sitting there like, okay, I know the overall plan is for Luffy to defeat Crocodile, prevent Baroque works, and stop the rebel army. I know that's the plan. I'm just trying to figure out the motives because the rain being stolen seems to be why the rebels are fighting and things like that. But anyway, we get to the point of they go into the casino, they run through the casino following the signs that the Crocodile wants them in the VIP room. And what I would have normally chalked up to Luffy being stupid is literally the whole crew. They go running down a hallway, and there's a sign that says VIP room, and there's a sign that says pirates. And Luffy and I think Zoro are both like, well, we're pirates, let's go that way. And so then Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Smoker goes with them for some weird reason. I think it's because he's chasing them, but he ends up in the trap with them as well. And they all end up in a trap. Vivi's outside, and Sanji and Chopper are just doing something else, which I forgot they weren't in the cage because they keep saying all the pirates are in the cage. And I get that was the point because Crocodile didn't know how many pirates there were. But like, I'm just like, oh, they're probably just behind Smoker. Smoker's a big guy. I'm sure Sanji's just behind them playing cards with Chopper. Like, that's fine. They just didn't want to draw them in the cage. Because like at this point, I'm just like, okay, they're all in the cage. I fell for it like Crocodile did. Anyway. Crocodile explains his entire plan is to get the rebels to fight so that he can get involved in the middle and take over the entire area. Got it. That's the plan that Crocodile's doing. Cool. I understand that one. And that no one in the Baroque works has seen him. That's the big thing. The only one who knows who he is Miss All Sunday. Got it. She's with that. He starts taunting them. He throws the key down the middle of the crocodile well. Vivi shows back up, and he leaves Vivi with the option. You can go stop the rebels from killing everyone in the kingdom and everyone dying, or you can save your friends. The key is down this well. You have to go fight a banana crocodile, which was hilarious because there's literally a couple panels where Luffy's like, the banana grew a crocodile. And Zoro's like, no, Luffy, you idiot. The crocodile grew a banana. And I'm looking at it like it's a banana and a crocodile. Like, it's whatever. But they were actually having a debate over what grew what. And I found that to be funny. Vivi ends up trying to attack Crocodile, can't do it, gets the option of getting the key or going to go save her friends. She then decides that she's going to fight for the key. Well, this leads to a fun development, and this is when I and Crocodile realize that there were more pirates. They get the phone call from Sanji, who's going by the name Mr. Prince. And we get a couple of cool chapters which explain that Chopper and Sanji were fighting everyone at the front of the casino, and that they sent Chopper off as like a decoy so that Sanji could sneak in. And then Sanji ends up using his insane kick power to decimate all of the crocodiles, and then the crocodile spits up Mr. 3. So I didn't go over it at one point, but basically Mr. 3 was in trouble because he didn't kill the pirates, the Straw Hat Pirates. So the crocodile ate him, and Mr. 3 made a wax cube, or like ball, to hide himself from all the stomach acids. And I'm like, oh yeah, that guy. And he has the key. This is a little weird, and I don't quite know what exactly happened here. Is he has the key, and we find out from Crocodile that key's not even the right key. Can't do it. And Mr. 2 or 3 throws it back down so that nobody can get it. But then they knock out Mr. 3, or they hit Mr. 3. I forget off the top of my head, but they do something. And they say that Mr. 3 can make a key out of wax. So my understanding is he threw away the fake key, but then he made the right key. And I'm assuming he did it by just filling the gap with the wax, because why would he know which key is which and all that kind of stuff? I'm probably overthinking it, and they just had to make wax in the keyhole and turn it. But whatever, you know, I've overthought so many other things. Let's overthink the key mechanism. This eventually leads to Luffy's gonna go fight Crocodile. Vivi's gonna head over to go stop the rebels. And that's where I've left off at that point. I didn't really want to break this particular chapter up, but this video has already run 20 minutes of me rambling, and there's like 30 more chapters of the actual war. So my questions are now, I want to know more about Luffy's family. Luffy's really growing on me. The whole thing of getting Vivi to ask him and actually ask him was great. I loved that. I am realizing that we have too many crew members, which is why, not in a bad way though. I actually really like that Oda just doesn't like to include them in everything. I like that we we have 6 members. We have 6 people. We have Vivi, we have Chopper, we have Sanji, we have Zoro, we have Nami, and we have Luffy. So what if the stories are focused on 3 at a time and the other 3 are doing other things? I really like that. As somebody who reads a lot of comic books, you know, various teams, X-Men, they always try to incorporate everyone, and it just comes across as ingenuous half the time, where it's like, oh, well, we have 7 people, so let's have them have banter in the fight so that they're all involved, but the banter really doesn't make any sense. It's weird. So I really like what he does with this. Oh, yeah, I forgot all about mentioning this. Miss All Sunday, she like sprout shit? What the hell is this? Like, she's like, I can grow limbs from anything, and she's got like 4 arms, and she's battling. I'm like, huh? That was awesome. Vivi's weapon, this chain whip thing, loved that. Thought that was awesome. And that's all my notes. Yeah. Oh, and I wrote here, finally getting into a fight, because it took a minute to get to like a legit fight. And it was Zoro going up against the girl that looks like his childhood friend, Kunia, who I don't even know her name at this point. I just call her the girl that looks like Kunia. But he can't fight her because of her face. So Zoro's as confused as I am. All right? Because he's like, I can't fight you. You look like my childhood friend. And I'm just sitting there going, shit, what was her name? She's Smoker's second in command and the girl that looks like Kunia. Anyway, but that's where we are. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching this. I really do appreciate it. I'm having a lot of fun reading One Piece. Once we got caught up in Destiny, I just kind of buckled down and started reading it again properly. And I'm really, really am enjoying it. Luffy is growing on me. And like I said in the last video, I'm starting to see that everyone gets these stories for character development. Like Nami in the Arlong arc, that was great for her. Zoro got his development with Mihawk and Hawkeye and all that stuff. I loved all that. And I'm starting to see Luffy's is just long form. I mean, I didn't even think about Luffy having family until we got to Ace, and that was chapter like 158. Like, holy crap. But anyway, seriously, thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate all of your continued support and just you guys continue to watch this. And if you want more, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm trying to do these weekly. Some of the weeks are a little tighter than others like this one, but I'm hoping to get through the next 30 chapters and give you the conclusion to the Alabasta arc, and we can move forward. Looks like I've got Alabasta arc, and then I'm at Sky Island, whatever that is. All right, I'll see you guys next time.